Alright, so on to the last part of solving simultaneous equations. This time they're going to be in context, they're a bit of word problems. Typically they are sort of in a part A and a part B, and I'll explain like where those sort of parts come in. So let's have a read of this question here. Now this is a calculator style question, but you could potentially come across one of these non-calculator as well. So £3 of butter and 4 pints of milk costs £3.84. £5 of butter and 7 pints of milk costs £6.48. Find the cost of a pound of butter and a single pint of milk. So essentially, I want to find out what £1 of butter costs and 1 pint of milk. So essentially, I'm going to be solving them. And so the first thing I need to do is set up my equations. So taking a look at that first one, we have £3 of butter, and I'm going to use the B there. So that's going to be 3B and 4 pints of milk. So I've got £3 of butter plus 4 pints of milk, and that costs this £3.84. So that's going to be equals £3.84. Same idea on the next line. I've got £5 of butter and 7 pints of milk, which gives me this cost of £6.48. So I've got that 5B for my £5 of butter, 7M for my milk, and that equals £6.48. So that's my first two equations set up, and typically that in an exam would often be the part A, where part A normally asks you to form two equations representing this information. Then part B is then typically find the cost of a pound of butter and a single pint of milk. So now we're just going to solve it simultaneously, same as before. So I'm just going to focus on my middle numbers. I've got that 4m and that 7m. They're not going to cancel out currently, so that means I've got to multiply equation 1 by that 7 and equation 2 by the 4 there. So that's my 1, my 2. So I've got to multiply equation 1 by 7 and equation 2 by 4. So 3b times 7, that's going to give me 21b plus 28m. And then I'm going to get a calculator to do my 3.84 times 7. And that's going to give me 26.88. So that's now my equation 3. And then 5b times 4 is 20b plus 28m. And then I want to do that 6.48 times 4, which is just going to give me 25.92. Then looking at my centre here, they're both pluses, so that means I need to subtract them. And I lined up quite nicely in that my top one is bigger than my second equation. So I am just going to do equation 3 take away equation 4. So 21 take away 20, that's just going to give me b on its own. And then subtracting the other ones, that is going to give me I don't know why I'm doing this in my head, 9.6, I believe. Let's actually just double check that. So 26.88 take away. Yep, 0.96. So that is the cost of £1 of butter. So now I've got to take that and I've got to substitute it same as before. So I'm going to substitute b equals 0.96 into, I'm just going to choose equation 1. So I'm going to write out my equation 1 again of 3b plus 4m equals 3.84. So it's going to be 3 times 0.96 plus 4m equals 3.84. So times that by 3, that is going to give me £2.88. Plus 4m equals 3.84. Then I'm going to take away the 2.88 from both sides. So it's going to give me 4m equals 0.96 as well, I think. Let me just double check. 3.84. Yeah, 0.96. So 0.96, and I've just got to divide it by 4, which is going to give me an answer of m equals 0.24. Now, previously, all we did at the end was just reiterate b equals 0.96 and m equals 0.24. That's not going to work with these questions here. It doesn't really give you any information. It's just saying this letter is this letter is that. We need to put it back into the context of the question. So for our final answer, we need to write 1 pound of butter costs 96 pence, and make sure you do include these units. If you don't include the units, you won't get the mark. And 1 pint of milk costs 24 pence. And so that is required to get the final mark for this question. Okay, so let's take a look at one more context question. So, on a camping holiday, a group of 30 students take 3 frame tents and 2 ridge tents. Another group of 25 students take 2 frame tents and 3 ridge tents. How many people does each type of tent hold? So, one of my equations is going to use this 30, and I've got 3 frame and 2 ridge. So, my equation 1 is going to be that 3 frame plus the 2 ridge tents hold 30 people. And then my next one is I've got that 25 and I've got 2 frame and 3 ridge. So I've got 2 frame plus 3 ridge tents, and that equals 25. So that's my equation 1. That's my equation 2. Again, looking at that middle, they don't line up, so I need to change them slightly so they can cancel out. So I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 3, multiply equation 2 by 2. So that's going to become 9f plus 6r equals 90. And then I've got 4f plus 6r equals 50. And then they're both pluses, so that means I'm going to subtract them. So 9f take away 4f, that's going to give me 5f. The 6r's are going to cancel. 90 take away 50 is going to give me 40. Then divide by 5 on both sides. And so f is going to equal 8. Then I want to substitute that in. So I'm going to substitute f equals 8 into, and I'm going to choose equation 2 because it looks a little easier. So I've got that 2f plus 3r equals 25. So that's going to be 2 times 8 plus 3r equals 25. So that's 16 plus 3r equals 25. Take away the 16 on both sides. So I now have 3r equals, oh, there we are, 3r equals, that's going to be 9. And then I've got divided by 3 on both sides. So R equals 3. So then I need to take my answers and put them into the context. So 1 frame tent holds 8 people. 1 ridge tent holds 3 people. And so that is how to solve a simultaneous equation in context.